It's time for Inside the Patch with your Las Vegas Raiders. Here's Gnarly Charlie.
All right, so this week on Inside the Patch, I've got, he's the inventor of PerfectRotation.com, which is a great basketball tool, but you're also a Raider aficionado. How's that?
Sounds good to me.
Mitch Adams is with us. And Mitch, you kind of figured out what has to happen for the Raiders to reach the promised land, which is the postseason.
Wow. Gnarly. There are five things that have to happen.
Okay.
New England must lose 2 of their final 4 games.
Okay.
The Chargers must lose 2 of their final 4 games.
Ooh.
The Jets must lose 2 of the final 4 games.
Okay.
Jacksonville needs to lose 1 of their final 4. And the Raiders have to win all 4 of their games.
All right.
And so then we're in. I mean, there's a possibility.
It's kind of like if we could get in the club, we got a shot to dance with some hot chicks, you know? But we got to get past the doorman. A lot of things have to happen to get in the club. So, I don't know.
We're in line. We're in line, and we're looking at the bouncer right now like, is your fake ID, is it going to pass?
Right.
But once you're in there, man, all bets are off.
Well, I know Renfro's back. Waller is questionable.
Yeah, I read they were both back for this week.
So, I mean, if all guns are firing, I guess we should mention the Rams game a little bit. I mean, we left too much time. A minute. They had a minute. 1 minute. That's all you need.
I was sitting here watching the game, and it was 16-3.
Yeah.
And I felt pretty comfortable. I said, finally, I get to relax in the fourth quarter. Then it was 16-10.
Oh, yeah.
I remember saying to one of my sons, we could lose this thing 17-16 if we don't watch out.
Right.
And then we get a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for slapping the ball out of the quarterback's hand.
Yeah.
Because I think the game would have been over had that penalty not happened.
Well, it would have been 4th down. They had to go for it on 4th down. And no, they get a first down because it had nothing to do with the play, you know. It's hard to, we grew up with the Tucker rule. We grew up with all those things. So it's hard to say that's the reason when there were other plays involved in the game. But
you could go to the end of the first half. I mean, who's calling these plays? I mean, kick a field goal, but we can't afford an interception. Because I figured we get something out of that final drive.
Right. Line up your brother, Devontae Adams, in the backfield. Why are we lining him up in the backfield for any play? We don't want him to get hurt. He's not going through the whole middle.
I can't explain it. I just know this whole season it seemed like some sort of aberration that, am I going to wake up and the season hasn't started? Because there were high hopes. So, I mean, we have, if running on all cylinders, probably one of the most dynamic offenses, at least on paper, in football.
Yeah.
I mean, Jacobs he's the leading rusher.
He's number 1 in like 6 categories in the whole NFL. Like 6 categories. Longest run of the year. Most first downs. Just crazy. Like, But in a weird way, doesn't that make, if we do win the Super Bowl, even a bigger story? I mean, we have tried. It was kind of like when Trump got elected. He tried to lose. He tried, and he won. And I'm not saying that I'm not political at all. I'm just saying we are trying to throw this season out, but we're still in it. We're not done yet.
Here it is, mid-December, and there's an opportunity.
I know.
Slim, but there's an opportunity.
I mean,
and in some instances, that's all you're looking for is an opportunity.
Well, we've got 4 more games left. This show runs through the season, and I thought to myself, at least we're not talking draft picks yet because we still got a chance. There's still a chance.
Hey, Thursday night, and when you have a game on Thursday night and you finish your day, you're like, I just need to get to 5:00 because now my team is playing at home. No, in LA.
Well, it's like a home game for us,
Like, kind of like a home game. But it's a West Coast team. There wasn't much travel. We can win this. We should win this thing because their number one quarterback's out. Aaron Donald isn't playing, and whoever else wasn't playing, Cooper Kupp. I mean, that was our game to win.
I know.
I mean, afterwards, I just sat there like, what just happened?
That's what I thought. Did that just happen?
And unlike the Tuck Rule game that I still vividly remember, and cursing at the top of my lungs, I just sat there and I was like, this season's over.
I bet we could put a price on how many Raider fans have broke stuff in their house. What would that number be? I mean, I'm sure TVs have been broke. I'm sure vases, arms, lots of things have been destroyed. Raider shirts ripped. I'm sure it's millions.
Yeah, I could see some throwing a cocktail across the room.
Yes. Or a fight. You're hammering some, and you got a guy at your house who's just like in your face. You're like, oh.
Well, my younger cousins, who are my kids' ages, they root for another team here in the Bay Area, and had nerve to call here, FaceTime to my son, laughing, and I'm like, dude, are you serious? I'm like, I said, we've never done that to you.
I hosted a Raider show. I just shut my phone off. It's like, I don't want to hear it. And I feel like I've known you for a long time, Mitch. I don't see you gloating like that. I don't see you pounding. It's like Raider fans, we like to win and go on,
Right. There's no calling people on the phone like, look what we just did. Or if someone loses, I don't call them.
Act like you've been there before.
Act like you've been there before. And one of my neighbors, he was at the game. And, we don't normally text during football games. He's not a huge sports fan.
Right.
And I had to tell him before the game, I know you're going to be there, but don't bother me during the game. I like to focus.
Go do your thing.
And after the game, he sends this text. And I haven't responded yet because it's like, dude, we're not friends like that.
Right.
I don't want to hear your
right. That's another thing. If I deserve it, then that's one thing, But if we're not on that kind of level, then hey.
Yeah, I don't want to hear your commentary about my team that you don't follow.
Right.
Don't do that.
I had a nightmare, and I woke up and during the dream, I became the Dallas Cowboys, who I don't even like, head coach. And it was just told to me, and I was starting to tell people, yeah, I'm the new Dallas Cowboys head coach. And people didn't believe me. And I'm going, no, and I'm feeling like, why would they? I'm not even that good of a football coach. Why would? But apparently it happened. And then I was kind of bummed about it. I was like, I can't be the Dallas Cowboys football coach. And it's not true. And I wasn't asked. But it was just dumb. But it was a nightmare. That's a nightmare to me.
And that can be nightmare for me would be working across the bay for that team. And even when I used to work for the networks and I'd have to cover some of their games.
Right.
Someone says, "You're going to put this on?" I'm like, nah. Nah, I'm just going to wear my regular.
Right.
I don't need anything. You want a hat? No. The only thing that with the credential around my neck would have their I've already mentioned the names, but their helmet was on there, and that's the only thing I've ever had that had their.
Well, even if when it was a home game in Oakland, if I had a media credential, most of the media tries to be, like neutral, and I'm like, I got a faux finger on, Raider hat, face painted. I'm like, yeah, but it is what it is.
Oh,
All right.
With the media credential.
I know. It's that's why I don't have one anymore. So,
oh my goodness.
All right, Mitch. What's going to happen? What's going to happen on Sunday?
Offensively, we've got to come out and just put the score so far out there that when we have our collapse in the fourth quarter that we've been prone to do this year, it won't make a difference. And that's the only way I see beating this team. Because, I watched Monday night, and the Cardinals hung with the Patriots for a half.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden, mistake after mistake after mistake was made. Hopkins, running the ball like it was a loaf of bread, like he was Walter Payton, and knocked out of his hand from behind, and he can't get it. Scoop for a touchdown. All of a sudden, they're down. And then another score happens, and they lose big, and was reminiscent to how we do it when we collapse. And if we can, we're great in the first half. We're going to have to put up 28, 35 points in the first half. And if we can do that, then we can sit back and make all the mistakes that we normally make in the second half and still win the game. But we've got to go in there and we got to win this game, because there'll be nothing better than to have some sort of winning streak and momentum going into Pittsburgh on Christmas Eve, the 50th anniversary of.
I don't even call it that. That would hit the ground. That would have been turned over if it was now. I don't know. All right.
We need this one. And the defensive line has been doing what they need to do. Defensive backs, though. Oh my God. Baker Mayfield, number 1 draft pick overall.
Right.
Not a bad quarterback, but he just got there 2 days before the game, or a day and a half, and he's able to look the safety off and then hit the guy down the sideline, and the defensive back corner never turns around.
Mitch, we can't explain it. We're just like, did that just happen? How many times have you said it this year? Did that just happen? It's like, my goodness. I went upstairs, took a shower, and went to bed. I just said, I better go to bed. I'll get up early and work out. Excuse me. I went and worked out, took a shower, went to bed, and got up again and worked out, because I just needed to get all of that energy out of my system, that negative energy. And, man, but it's happened too many times this year. Games too many times.
Won. Because if you look at all of the close games, I don't want to say that because we've won some close games also. But the ones that we lost were because of the mistakes we've made.
Right.
And if you look at those mistakes, because the other team didn't win, we lost those games.
Right.
And if you go back and cut out one mistake each of maybe 5 or 6 of those games that we've done this in, our record is vastly different from what it is today. And we're in the Super Bowl talk.
We're not in the what if. So
I know. I hate doing that, but it's bonehead plays.
You know what? But think about last year. If they said, well, if they tie, they both go. That'll never happen. Oh my gosh. It could come down to the last week, all of this. So, all right, let's beat the Patriots. Let's start there.
It's got to
start there.
It has to start there. Opening drive, touchdown.
I'd like to see the Jets lose in the morning.
Drive 3 and out, get the ball, march it down, touchdown, get that momentum on our side immediately, and
perfect.
Follow it up with another score. But we've got to score 3 or 4 times in the first half. We have to.
Mitch, I love you, man. Mitch Adams, the inventor of the perfect rotation tool. You are. There it is. Look at that. And if you're a basketball coach or you have a kid that plays basketball, you need this. It'll change your life. That's a game changer right there. Yeah, and you can hold your change, too. Look at that.
A weighted training ball to help strengthen your shooting side and increase your distance on the floor and put you in proper form when you shoot it, because you can't chicken wing it. Your elbow has to come straight up under the ball.
Avoid the chicken wing and get your hand.
Unless it's on your plate for a football game.
Then that's fine. That's fine.
And that's okay.
Perfect. All right. And don't eat clam chowder this week, because we're beating the Patriots. All right.
Beat Patriots. Oh my God. It starts with them.
That's right. Thank you, Mitch. We'll see you next week, and we'll have good news, I promise.
All right, Charlie, man, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. And go Raiders. I had to put some throwback on to bring back some Oakland mojo.
Love it. Oakland, that's my favorite place at Disneyland. There's Frontierland, and then there's Fantasyland, and then Oakland.
We'll be back with more Inside the Patch on 1430 ESPN, your official home of the Las Vegas Raiders.